Hey guys, Naomi here with Instarent's bi-weekly market update. We at Instarent have some very exciting news, which I will get to at the end of this episode. But firstly, October is over and the stats are in. Last week, the New South Wales State Office of Revenue announced a $1.59 billion crash in revenue created by stamp duty. This, of course, comes from the retraction in sales and restricted lending. Major banks have started to ease lending criteria as interest rates are at a record low. Some more good news for those who are still yet to invest in their first property. The First Home Loan Deposit Scheme will give first home buyers better access to finance without having to save a 20% deposit, and will be available to the first 10,000 first home loan applicants. To qualify for the scheme, you will need a minimum of 5% deposit saved, and the Morrison government will fund the rest of the required deposit amount. Sydney investors will receive government funding of up to $105,000 towards their first home. The full terms and conditions are still to be released, but this move is expected to boost housing sales and push recently struggling economy. On the back of this news and softened lending criteria, Sydney and Melbourne have had the biggest month-on-month increase in prices in a decade. Melbourne is up 5.5%. Wow. Some critics still claiming this is a mid-crash bounce in the market, while others claiming the bust is over and we are entering another boom. Moving on to the rentals. Vacancy rates have tightened. We are now down to 2.1% nationally, although the majority of the country has been doing extremely well with filling those vacant homes. Sydney is proving to be the problem child, being the only city with more than 2.5% in vacancies. Lewis Christopher, who is the managing director over at SQM Research, has said vacancies in Sydney still remain elevated and are still predicted to rise before this year is over. In other news, the Aussie dollar is bouncing back after its decade lows of 67 cents, should the RBA hold its interest rates. Experts believe we could be back at 70 cents in the near future. Westpac has announced it will be raising $2.5 billion in equity to help balance its sheets. This comes after news that the banking giant recorded a 15% drop in profits year on year. Well, now time for the exciting news. Instarent has officially been accepted to its first round of public funding. We have plenty of juicy content on our journey to and from now. Follow the link in bio. That's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our mailing list for updates on the regular.